And one thing that often happens when you do something positive, you make a positive shift, that you shift the inertia of your overall lifestyle into a more positive direction, is that sometimes things get worse before they get better. So in this video I want to explain this concept and give you the dexterity, the underlying awareness, and the foundational understanding that will empower you to understand what's happening when you get yourself in the middle of a situation like this. Kind of like how when a ship is out to sea and it's in the middle of the sea and you look around, you know, you're on the ship, you look around and you don't see anything other than just ocean, and you have no idea of knowing where you're going. So you have to have this radar to tell you, you have to have this navigation system to tell you that you're going in the right direction, because you can't really tell, because maybe there's a storm around you, maybe it's dark, maybe it's nighttime, maybe it's foggy, and you just can't see. Likewise, when we're making shifts, we're making changes, you know, we might be in a situation to where we're just in emotional turmoil, our life is just in flux, there's chaos and change all around us, and we can't really tell what's happening. We can't get our bearings, we can't get our navigation right. So the understanding that I'm going to give you in this video will help you just really dial in and know, you know, where to keep going, where to keep moving, and, you know, just it'll basically be kind of like a navigational system for you to push through the storm and to, you know, get to your destination. So the first thing you need to understand is that our body basically has a protective mechanism that will keep things from below our conscious awareness. So if we have a very traumatic experience in our life, or if we have some sort of experience that we can't really deal with, we can't really process it, our body will just suppress it and bury it to somewhere on an unconscious level, and maybe store it somewhere in the body, store it somewhere in our organs, so that, you know, maybe sometime when our organism gets to a level of maturity and evolution and dexterity to be able to process and understand it thoroughly, it'll come up to the surface. So for example, when you're a child and you have a very stressful or traumatic or intense situation, you don't have the emotional or mental maturity to be able to understand it, to process it, and accept it and move on. So you just are bombarded with this energy, and then what are you supposed to do? You have no tools or understanding to process it and let it go and move on, so you just kind of like take it in and just bury it for later. So basically what happens when you do something positive, you change your diet, you start exercising, you know, start writing goals, or you start taking herbs, or you start drinking better water, or whatever your strategy is, whatever your, you know, whatever it is you're trying to move towards, there's kind of like a growth curve that happens. You start to do it for a little bit, and, you know, things are good, but then all of a sudden things just hit a chaotic level, and you kind of go up, and you kind of go down, and you hit this dip. And in this situation, things are worse. You know, you're getting angry, you're getting frustrated, people are coming in and out of your lives, you're maybe losing a job, you're, you know, getting sick, all these different things might be happening. You're thinking, wait a minute, I'm taking this herb, it's supposed to make me feel better. Why do I feel worse? I'm exercising, I'm supposed to have more energy, I'm supposed to lose weight, why am I feeling tired? So basically, if you want to look at this on the graph, you know, you go down, you hit the low point, but then what's after the low point? You go up to the next level and you move on, and the cycle repeats. Likewise, you can say anything that you push to an extreme will flip, you know, back to its other. So when you're doing this, and when you're making these shifts and these positive steps for yourself, and things start to go wrong, it's a good sign. It means you're progressing. It means you're probably going in the right direction. And ultimately, it means that your organism, your consciousness, your being, your body, your health, whatever it is finally at a point of evolution and maturity to be able to handle whatever it is that you are keeping down, whether that's a limiting belief or a stressful situation or a negative emotion, a negative belief, a bad relationship, whatever it is. It's kind of like you've been spending all this energy keeping that down, and then you let it go and it comes up, and then all it really wants is just to be acknowledged, processed, and let go. So it basically means that when things are going bad, after you've been doing so many good things, it's a good sign. It means that you are, yes, actually growing, and that you're actually in a more mature state to be able to handle whatever it is that you were suppressing. And it's just something that's going to keep coming up. It's just it's the cycle, it's the archetype, it's the pattern, it's the blueprint, the archetype, whatever you want to call it, that of growth and of evolution. And ultimately, it takes a little bit of chaos to help us rise to that next level of order, of harmony, of organization, however you want to put it. So basically, to recap and sum this up, when things start to go wrong after you've been progressing and doing good things, it's part of the process. It's a good thing. Know that it'll pass. Know that it's actually a good sign, in that it means that you can actually handle whatever it is that you're keeping down. And then preceding that is this understanding that our body has protective mechanisms, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, to keep things out of our consciousness that we can't really handle at the moment, we can't really process and deal with. So rather than stressing out our organism or overwhelming our organism, it just keeps it out of it, kind of protects us, so that we can kind of stay in contact with the day-to-day reality. We can kind of stay in contact with people. We can still function, even at a suboptimal or really hindered level. We can still function and do our day-to-day lives. So that's just something I wanted to communicate to you, because I know you're probably doing things or making changes, and things happen, things come up, people disagree with you, you feel bad, you get tired, you get upset, you get angry, whatever it is, and you think, this is not supposed to be happening. Just know that it's part of the growth process, it's part of the evolutionary process, and that it will pass. So, hopefully it's been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.